And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the official live stream of the Signposts. And this is going to be taking place every Thursday at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So this is our first standalone webcast episode. Basically, I've turned it as episode 3 because I did 2 other ones in the past 2 weeks. So hope you're all doing well today. We have a very big webcast today. We're going to be looking into quite a few different things. We're also going to be doing some healing for certain areas to start off the webcast after the announcements. And those 3 areas are going to be the Northwest Territories in Canada, Maui, and Australia. Okay, so I'm going to be doing some healing work on those 3 areas. And you guys are welcome to join me as well too, because I will be doing kind of a meditation and working on clearing out a lot of, I could say, very corrupt energy there, chaotic energy there. But before we do that, we're going to go ahead firstly and start off with some announcements.
Instead of forgetting to take 19,000.
And of course, we have a brand new promo code for Etherics. It is August 20 off, all capital letters, and you can get 20% off everything with your order. So again, you just go to etherics.co and look into our in-house shipping products. We have quite a few in-house products now. We're just transitioning and getting off a lot of the print-on-demand services and just making things readily available. So again, you can check out etherics.co. You can also check out our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@ethericsstore. Of course, we are also on Facebook and on Instagram. But again, don't forget that promo code August 20 off, receive 20% off, and it is valid until August 30th. So go ahead and check that out. And moving on, we have private sessions and 3-question private email sessions available on newearthteachings.com. Communication with Adronis, Akashic record readings, tarot, healing, and more. And the same thing for 3 questions by email, as they can be answered by Adronis as well. They can also be put in for healing requests. So we have a healing request. You can either put it in through private sessions or through 3 questions by email. So again, you can check that out at newearthteachings.com. And everything on the New Earth Teachings YouTube channel here is backed up onto Odyssey. You can check out our link down in the video description, odyssey.com/@newearthteachings. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with the webcast today. Hello, everybody. So like I said, we're going to do some healing first, and then after that, we're going to get into some information regarding geoengineering and point source energy weaponry. We're going to be talking a little bit more about that today, and then we'll be going into Q&A as well, too. Now, again, you guys are more than welcome to ask Adronis questions here in the Signposts. Right? Tomorrow, I'll be starting New Earth TV Live. So New Earth TV Live will be going back into its Friday slot, as it was in the past. So every Thursday are the Signposts. Every Friday is New Earth TV Live, and Adronis is going to be coming through tomorrow, and he's going to be giving some insights relating to the rest of the 2023 year. You guys do not want to miss this. Okay, so that is happening tomorrow at 10 a.m. Pacific, New Earth TV Live with Adronis. He's going to be talking about the rest of the 2023 year and the momentum ahead for that. We're of course also going to do some Q&A, and we're going to do some distance healing tomorrow as well too. So for tomorrow, for New Earth TV Live, if you guys do have some distance healing requests, you can put that into the chat. And like I said, we will be taking Q&A tomorrow as well too. So 2 awesome days. Looking forward to it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Hello everybody. Good to see you all in the chat. Glad to see everybody here. So we're going to start off firstly by doing some distance healing for the for 3 particular areas. So the first one is the Northwest Territories in Canada. Second one is the island of Maui. And the third is the continent of Australia. Okay. Why have I decided to work with these 3 areas? Well, basically, number 1 for Maui. Maui has basically been under the point source energy weapon attack, right? And it's all basically a ruse to basically take down certain properties and buy up land so that elitists can come onto the land and live there, right? So it basically is, in that sense, an entire staged takedown. It's another psyop, as of course we know about psyops. I'm pretty sure most of us do by now. So there have been thousands of people that have been left homeless for this. There's been a great significant amount of damage upon Maui. People have lost their lives as well too. So this is what I'm feeling would be a very good thing to do, is to just help them out by working together with distance healing here. So like I said, you guys are more than welcome to join me. I'm just going to take a moment here and just get everything set up here. But I'm going to do a distance healing onto Maui. And the second area is the Northwest Territories. Northwest Territories, very similarly, has been catapulted with all of this what quote-unquote wildfire nonsense, right? So we're going to be working with the Northwest Territories because they too have had severe fires, have had severe injuries, and even just overall, a lot of their entire land has been devastated as well too. So what we're going to do first is we're going to work with Maui, then Northwest Territories, then we're going to work with Australia. And I don't think I even really need to elaborate too much on what Australia has been going through, especially for these past several years, in regards to the troubles they've had with wildfires, with, again, geoengineering agendas, right? Geoengineering agendas, I guess, would be the best way to put it, for Maui, for the Northwest Territories, and for Australia as well, too. So what I'm going to do is I just have Google Maps placed up here, and this is just going to help me with my distance healing. And like I said, if you guys want to send some love, send some joy, send some compassion, send some very powerful energies to the people of Maui, okay, you can certainly join me with this exercise, this meditation, this healing that we are going to do. So what I have here in my hand, let me just pull up my screen there. So this is what's known as the universal pendulum. When you guys start taking the Etherics Academy, which I'll be talking more about tomorrow, because the Etherics Academy is going to be available for pre-enrollment tomorrow, but more information on that is going to happen through New Earth TV Live, right? So I'll be talking all about the Etherics Academy. Etherics Academy is going to be available tomorrow for pre-enrollment. I'm basically just doing some last-minute touch-ups on the website, and it'll be ready this evening, and then ready to roll out tomorrow for pre-enrollment. So again, what you see here is a universal pendulum, and you'll learn more about that through the Etherics Academy. Anyways, like I said, if you guys want to go ahead and join in, you're more than welcome to. So all I want you to do right now is just get yourselves nice and comfortable, nice and relaxed. Keep the spine nice and straight. We're just going to take some deep breaths in and out through the nose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And one more time. Inhale. And exhale. Okay. Now if you guys have Google Maps, for example, pulled up to get an idea of just looking at a visual of Maui, you can do that. Otherwise, if you already have a pretty good, clear idea of what Maui is like, I just want you to tune in to its vibration, okay? We're not so much looking into the thought form, right? Just cultivating an image within your mind to think that that's you sending energy to Maui, because it wouldn't. That would be you sending a thought form to Maui, okay? That's basically you, I would say that's you creating a thought form where all of that energy that you're sending to is simply to the thought form, okay? And that's not what we want to do. Like I said, you're going to learn more about this for those of you who enroll in the Etherics Academy, okay? A lot of people make this mistake, is they put up a thought form in their mind. Okay, I got a thought form of Maui. I'll go ahead and I'll start sending it to. No, because what you're doing is you're sending it to that thought form. You're not actually sending it to Maui, okay? So what helps is if you have a map, right? So if you have Google Maps Or again, if you're familiar with Maui, right, and you're tuning into that vibration, that's exactly what we're doing here, okay? So as I have a map here on Google Maps of Maui, what I'm doing is I'm just stepping into its vibration. Okay, so all it really involves is your awareness, right? Your awareness is just stepping in to the vibration, to the signature of Maui. It's like you feel an impression, you feel a sensation as you step into Maui. And as I'm feeling Maui, there's still a lot of joy in Maui. That's the good news, okay? When I'm stepping into Maui, there's still that heartbeat, okay? There's still that loving signature that Maui has, even though on the surface she has been attacked, okay? And of course, I can feel that kind of chaotic energy at the same time as I'm tuning into Maui. But at the core, she's still very much a loving space. She still is very much a loving spiritual land, okay? That has not been lost with her, and that's very good news, okay? So now that you guys are doing this with me and you have tuned into Maui, I want you just to start sending love to her right now. Just start sending your love, your compassion. Open up your heart space, okay? Open up the heart. Feel all of that light from the heart flowing through your hands and just going into transmission posture, okay? And I want you just to feel, like I said, if you have a familiarity and awareness of Maui, of how she feels to you, good, use that, okay? But don't create a visual thought form, because all you're doing is sending that love energy to a thought form. So if you have a map up and you're seeing Maui there and you're stepping into her vibration, okay, and then being able to do transmission posture, that is great. That's wonderful. That is how you can help, okay? A lot of people get that mixed up. Oh, Brad, I'm just seeing this person visually in my mind and I'm sending energy to them. No, 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 no. You are only tuning into a thought form, okay? You don't do that. So you want to tune into their vibration. You want to step in. It's kind of like the tutorial I was talking about with the source necklace, okay? You want to make sure that you're tuning into the person vibrationally, not through visualization, not through creative thought. So very important about that. Okay, so I'm going to take a moment now just to tune into Maui. And I'm just going to start sending her lots of loving energy, okay? So I want you guys just to continue to work with the transmission posture and just sending her love as well, as I'm going to be doing my own work here with Maui, which will just take a couple of minutes. Okay. So just going to take a deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay. So with a lot of the terrible things that have happened with Maui, with the directed energy weapons that have basically come upon Maui, and anybody who's denying that is lying to your face, okay? That is exactly what has happened, okay? This is the result of directed energy weapons. This is the result of point source energy weaponry that is done via satellite, okay? Weapons satellites, energy weapons satellites that are basically striking this beam down. You'll notice that when those beams come down, it's not uncommon to actually see a lightning bolt happen at the same time, because you are looking at a tremendous amount of discharge, okay? That is a dielectric discharge, and that is exactly how a lightning bolt can often come down at the same time that these particular beams can come down, because again, you're looking at an incredible discharge that is taking place. That's exactly why commonly when there have been video of these beams of death, so to speak, Nikola Tesla's death ray basically, it's coming down onto the planet, that again, this creates a severe dielectric discharge, and that is exactly why lightning happens at the same time, okay? So this again is all the signs of directed energy weaponry, or again, otherwise referred to as point source energy weaponry. Well, what the heck does that mean? Well, guys, usually if you look on the internet, you'll find quite commonly 5-watt lasers, 10-watt lasers, etc. And if you buy these particular lasers, let's say, for example, if I have a balloon here, and you buy a 5-watt laser and you turn it on and you're aiming it at that balloon, within nearly an instant, that balloon will pop. In fact, this is never what I would recommend, but if you were basically trying to put that 5-watt laser upon your skin, you would burn a hole within yourself extremely quickly. Now, let's take that idea of a 5-watt laser that you can buy publicly, or a 10-watt laser that you can buy publicly, okay? These are extremely powerful. These can burn holes through walls. This can burn a hole through your skin, right? They're very dangerous. Now, taking that particular technology and scaling it up thousands of times more, okay? You have a point source energy device. And that point source energy device is coherently able to, again, focus a beam and project that beam upon any particular area of the planet, because these particular satellites are really no more different than the capability of what you would find with the Starlink satellites. They are remotely controlled, okay? They basically have their own type of navigation. They can move upon any particular area of the planet, and they basically achieve certain degrees of saturation, and within a matter of seconds, there's a beam that comes down, and it's again like that 5-watt laser upon your own skin, burning a hole in your body, okay? And this is exactly what this type of technology can do. So anybody that's basically trying to think that directed energy weapons are a joke, I just told you a device that is available publicly that is a very small, scaled down version of that, just relating to that of what we commonly refer to as a laser beam, okay? Or again, a point source energy weapon device. And that is what you are seeing through not only with what has happened with Maui. California has had this many times, right? California has been burned to cinders many times because of directed energy weapons. Okay, so this is nothing new. Australia, which is one of the places we'll be doing here very shortly, has been burned many times by directed energy weapons. Okay, these are point source energy weapons. And Brad, what can we do about it? You need to educate people about it. You need to tell people that this is exactly what has been going down. That a lot of these things, that the entire agenda with Maui has all been about the idea of leveling homes, sweeping away all of the debris, and buying up land, right? There's been a lot of people reporting that they've had investors contact these people who have basically lost their homes shortly afterwards and are trying to negotiate with them to buying up their land, right? So it's pretty obvious about what this is all about. So this is why I decided to send some healing energy to Maui, just clearing away a lot of that death energy, okay? It's on a much more larger scale, but it reminds me of when I was in Stonehenge, right? When I was right at Stonehenge, I should say, and basically going up into that structure and seeing all the death energy that's in there, okay? Stonehenge was a complete and total disaster area, okay? It should not have even been open to the public at all. It was completely disastrous. It was completely hazardous. There was nothing but death in the air when I went to Stonehenge, okay? And a couple other people who were with me felt the exact same thing. So, of course, Stonehenge was cleaned up. And I look at Maui, I tune in, but there's a lot of love still in the heart of Maui. That's the great thing, right? To her core, to her heart, her love is still there. She's still very, very strong, okay? But unfortunately, there has been this ridiculous, sadistic psyop that has come. Oh no, guys, it's just climate change. It's climate change. Guys, there's no such thing as climate change. There's no such thing as global warming. I'm pretty sure many of you guys are aware of that right now. Whenever you hear the words climate change and global warming, geoengineering, 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 okay? That's all it is. There's no such thing as climate change. Never has been. It's been nothing but one of the biggest psyops that they have tried to pull off here. Okay, so where we're going to go next is we're going to go to the Northwest Territories, okay, in Canada. And I'm again just using Google Maps here. Okay, so Northwest Territories, very large landmass into the upper area of Canada. And of course, I wouldn't feel that the entire Northwest Territories has been affected, but I'm basically going to be doing healing for the entire Northwest Territories. So again, if you guys have Google Maps, you can go ahead and pull that up. Right now, I would suggest if you can, change the layers on the map to satellite imagery, right? So let's try and get the satellite image of the Northwest Territories, not trying to make it the cartoony kind of map, but make it one that it basically has a satellite image to it, where you're actually seeing the real look of the land, okay? This is also important because it helps you to step into that vibration, okay? If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, sign up for the Etherics Academy, okay? Because you're going to learn exactly how to do this, because this is the true healing, okay? A lot of people will do healing, and a lot of them are good. A lot of you guys who are healers are great. You're powerful healers. But what happens is a lot of people will just start creating thoughts. They'll start creating thoughts around a person, and that person will not get that healing, right? You're basically just tuning into a thought form impression of that person, and you're just sending it to a thought form, okay? You have to learn to step into vibration. You have to learn to step into a person's field. You have to learn to be present with a person or even land, okay? Land is the exact same thing. Where we have British Columbia, where we have the Yukon, where we have the Northwest Territories, okay? All of that represents an energy, a vibration, okay? And we're stepping into that all together. So we're going to work on the Northwest Territories just as I step into the vibration of it now. Okay, so yeah, I'm seeing kind of like the lower portion of the Northwest Territories. So maybe kind of in the area of the southwest of the area of the Northwest Territories. But as I said, I am going to work on the entire Northwest Territories. But that's where I'm feeling a lot of the concentration of a lot of this, again, psyop activity happening here, where they've had major wildfires, they've had all kinds of destruction happening in that particular area. And so we're just going to work to clean that out altogether. Okay, so I'm going to step into it. So again, guys, working with the transmission posture, okay, stepping into the energies of the Northwest Territories, and just giving your love, sending your compassion, like I said, opening up the heart, letting that energy flow through the hands, and transmitting that energy into the Northwest Territories. Okay, so we're going to do that now. And I'll just be a minute or two. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay, so work has been done on that area of the Northwest Territories in Canada. Okay, we're now going to move on and go over to Australia. I know there's probably some other places that we can work on, but I really want to concentrate on these three particular areas because these three particular areas have been seen as the most severe and want to work on them all together today. Okay, but of course we'll have tomorrow too, right? So if you guys do have certain requests for lands that again have been ravaged by these PSYOP agendas, you can contact me tomorrow when we're live on the webcast, and we can even do some additional healing there as well too if you like. We can do a couple other countries as well. Okay, so we're now going to focus on the continent of Australia. Now again, like I said, it's of no surprise that Australia has been going through immense battles with these PSYOP agendas for years now. Okay, so this is exactly why I'm focusing directly on the entire continent of Australia. Okay, and like I said, I have a satellite image here of Australia through Google Maps. I just changed the layers, so I'm actually seeing the actual satellite imagery of Australia, which helps. That just helps me to move directly into Australia's vibration. Okay, so same thing, just as I did with Maui, just as I did with the Northwest Territories. Okay, like I said, guys, keep working with transmission posture, sending your love to Maui, Northwest Territories, and Australia. Okay, so we're just going to focus. I would just say, like I said, I'm focusing on the entire continent of Australia because it's had disasters just all over the place, right? You can even kind of see the scars on the map as well too, relating to Australia, about what they have been through, right? They have been ravaged in so many different ways, and Australia certainly requires a great deal of healing. Okay, so I'm going to tune into Australia right now, just tuning into Australia's frequency, and I will now begin. Okay, so deep breath in, deep breath out. And for those of you who are doing the transmission posture, just bringing your hands down, kind of similar to Shaogong. Okay, just bring it down to the navel. 1, 2, 3, and release. Okay, great job, guys. I was feeling quite a few of you with me. Okay, doing this work because, like I said, there are strength in numbers. If you guys get together with me while we're doing this healing, even if you guys are just catching the recording of this, okay, getting together and just sending healing to these three areas of the planet, Maui, the Northwest Territories, and Australia, we're making a big difference, okay? Especially when a lot of us are doing this work, we're doing this healing work, we're able to step into that vibration. You're bringing so much potency of loving, compassionate energy to these places. And it's like you're just bringing so much joy to the Mother Earth, right? It's like when I've done the guided Earth meditations, right? I've constantly reminded everybody who's doing it with me, keep working with the Earth. Keep sending her so much love. Keep sending her so much compassion. Go into your true self and send it, because you are doing so much for the Earth. And of course, there are so much rewards that come out of those good deeds. Okay? Someone asks, Jan asks, Brad, when are you starting the Etherics Academy? Well, it's going to be ready to roll out tomorrow. Like I said, I'm going to make the official announcement tomorrow, but I'll give you guys a little bit of a sneak preview. Okay, so I'm launching the Etherics Academy tomorrow. The website will be up during the announcements of tomorrow's webcast with New Earth TV Live. And that is going to be the enrollment time. Okay, so enrollment time is basically going to be starting from August 18th to September 18th. Okay, so there's basically 30 days for anybody, for as many people as who want to be a part of it. We basically have a 30-day open window period for enrollment. Okay, after September 18th, enrollments will close, and there will not be any more enrollments until 6 months afterwards. Okay, so you guys need to act fast. You have 30 days to basically get into enrollment. Now, half of this enrollment will go during the times to where we're starting the classes, but people who are late can still come in, okay, up to the point of September 18th, because our first class starts on September 2nd for everybody who is enrolled, okay? But again, if you come a little bit late, okay, up to September 18th, that's okay. You're able to do some catch-up work, but again, enrollment does end on September 18th, so we have a 30-day window for enrollment. Once that's done, I have all the students within those 30 days, then basically we work together for the 6-month course that the Etherics Academy student training is about. And then again, more enrollment will take place after those 6 months are completed. So if you don't get in on this within the 30 days, you got to wait 6 months. Okay, so that's why I say it's good to get on it when you can, as I launch it tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow morning with New Earth TV Live, I'll be making that announcement with the Etherics Academy. Okay. All right. So like I said, I'm going to talk a little bit more about geoengineering and the point source energy weaponry as well too. Okay. Now, as I've talked about before, right, I've done some work, especially over these past couple of years, looking a lot more into geoengineering. Okay. A lot of the weather that we have on the planet right now is not even really the natural weather cycles. Okay. They're manipulated constantly, right? The Earth does produce these storms. The Earth does produce these clouds. But the best way I could put it in a form of analogy, it's like taking a mouse and clicking on a cloud and say, okay, let's move it over here. And that's exactly what this entire weather manipulation system can do. There is an entire global grid of sophisticated geoengineering technology. It's not just HARP, guys. A lot of people say, okay, it's HAARP. It's HARP. And HARP's doing this. Okay, well, HARP has a play in it, but that's not all there is. It's very, very sophisticated. Okay. There's a great deal of technology besides HARP that is messing around with the weather. You're looking at satellites, you're looking at bases, you're looking at installations, you're looking at other particular forms of HARP-like technology, you're looking at scalar technology. You're looking at all of these particular forms of technology that are completely covering the grid and even above the Earth as well too, that play a very large role in this weather modification technology that we often call geoengineering. Okay? This has taken a lot of time for the governments of the world to set up. Okay, it's not been something easy. It's taken decades. Like I said, a lot of it has started from Nikola Tesla's technology. It's basically what they've been doing. They've been reverse engineering Tesla's technology. They've been reverse engineering extraterrestrial technology in combination to create this very sophisticated weather modification network. Okay, any particular point of the planet can be influenced, manipulated with this geoengineering. It's not difficult. Now, some people I've asked the question about the counterforces, right? Some people call them the alliances and stuff like that. Do the counterforces have possession of these technologies? Some of them do, yes. There are some that are in the possession of counterforces. Basically, we could say that the HARP facility up in Alaska is counterforce territory, okay? But there's more to it than that. There's a lot more technologies. It's a very sophisticated design. And the dark forces themselves pretty much still have a lot of connection to these particular technologies. The counterforces haven't seized them all yet. Okay, there still is quite a bit. That's exactly why they were able to do what they did to Maui. right? What they've been doing to Australia, what they've been doing to Canada, what they've been doing to the US, what they've been doing overseas, okay? A lot of this has been weather manipulation technology. It's very simple for them that as soon as a hurricane starts brewing, they can start pumping that energy up. They can start pumping up the energy of a hurricane, taking something, for example, like a Category 3 hurricane, pumping it up into a Category 4, pumping it up into a Category 5. It's really quite easy to do. You can do that very easily with scalar, okay? Scalar energy is very, very simple to be utilized in this way because of their network that they have, and they're able to pump up these particular hurricanes, for example, into very dangerous levels. They may even go into Category 6 or anything of that nature. Okay, but they can basically make them quite enormous, right? But again, as the hurricane starts to move, it starts to lose momentum as well too. So you can kind of pump it up, but like I said, this is basically what they have been doing. They have been meddling with weather. They have been meddling with the natural environment of the Earth, and this really makes the Earth very, very upset, right? She's very upset. It's kind of like she's like on a table and she's bound, right? And it's like these devices are implanted in her and she's kind of like moving her hand without her will to move her hand, right? It's like they're completely controlling the Earth's body, and it's pretty despicable, right? But this is exactly what they've been doing, right? With chemtrails. Well, chemtrails, all they really are again, different degrees of geoengineering. They're basically trying to keep the vibration low. They're trying to keep the sun's natural radiation out. They're trying to pollute a lot of those particular rays with chemtrails, right? They're basically, it's like spraying a bunch of pharmaceuticals in the air as well, too. It's nasty. It's horrible stuff, okay? But the good news is a lot of it is changing. A lot of it is shifting, okay? But here we are in 2023 and 2024, which are very intense transitional years. So geoengineering is going to be on the rise. Why is it on the rise? Because people have to know more about it, right? These are ugly, despicable, evil, twisted, corrupt things. They're never, ever appealing to look at, but we got to look at them, okay? We have to see all of these particular types of technologies that have been kept behind our glance, not being able to see, so that you are now seeing them full force, because the veils, the ether has lowered. As the ether is lowering, guys, you're going to see all of these secrets that have been hidden for decades and for centuries that are now going to start becoming as transparent as glass, okay? You are going to know all about weather manipulation technology. You're going to know all about directed energy weapons, point source energy weaponry. You're going to know all about scandals. You're going to know all about human trafficking. Right? You're going to learn all about these things that have been going on for a very long time, right? If we think that just child trafficking and all that stuff has been going around since the time of the internet, no, it's been going on way before that. It's only intensified during the time of the internet, right? It's intensified because it's been a lot more of a world reach because of the internet, okay? But it's been going around for thousands of years, right? Child trafficking really, in actuality, is nothing new. It's been happening for many thousands of years. But it's always been kept very clandestine, okay? Human trafficking, slavery has always been kept very, very clandestine, okay? Geoengineering, in the way that it is technologically aligned, has basically started around the times of the 40s and the 50s, okay? And it has taken these decades for it to really basically create a grid like this. And it has now become so radically advanced. Like I said, it's no more different than clicking a mouse. Oh, there's a cloud. Okay, drag it over here, and it's done. And you have scalar energy that's coming in and basically being able to push that weather front into any area of the planet that you wish. Now again, counterforces are basically in the works right now. I was doing a reading on this morning. They are in the works of trying to take care of a lot of this grid. But there's still so much more sophistication that they don't even know about yet that they have to tackle, right? There's backups, there's backups of backups, there's backups of backups of backups relating to a lot of these systems, right? And they basically have to be sniffed out and discovered. So again, they are working both on-world and off-world to try and discover where a lot of these backups of backups of backups to being able to control these systems are, right? Because you seize a particular installation, okay, this is a weather modification installation, but now it can also be controlled remotely over here. Okay, we got to go ahead and get that. Okay, but it can also be remotely controlled over here. Oh, for God's sakes. Okay, we're going to go over there. No, wait, it has to be controlled up here. Okay, for God's sakes, we got to go up there. Okay, it's exactly how it is. It's backups of backups of backups of backups. Okay, And a lot of these things, again, are remotely controlled. This is all remote controlled geoengineering agendas that are taking place, that have been happening now for decades. It has basically reached a very high level of sophistication right now. A lot of it is also AI controlled as well too. So like I said, it's very, very sophisticated. It's like pulling weeds, right? You have the counterforces coming in, they're pulling these weeds out, but there's still more that are growing back. So it's still going to take some time in regards to really getting this geoengineering situation under control. And it could be a couple years before all of that starts to come under control. But what's happening is that whenever there's been an attack, there's been a counter-defensive, okay? There's been a countering relating to the energies there as well. So again, it's just a matter of being able to educate people to this understanding. If you want to share this video and you tell people about what's really happening with geoengineering, well, here you go, right? But guys, there's no such thing as climate change. There's no such thing as global warming. I'm pretty sure the majority of my subscribers on my channel is already aware of this, but I get new people tuning in all the time. Okay, and that's exactly how this whole geoengineering agenda starts. It has been something that has been extraterrestrially assisted, right? Off-world assistance, again, especially around the times of the 40s, right? Being able to have a lot of this technology cooked up, like I said, a lot of Nikola Tesla's technology that was basically stolen from him when he passed, and these patents being put together and engineered in that way, and then again even souped up even further with back-engineered ET technology. So basically everything that represents the modification grid on the planet is both on-world and off-world technology combined. Okay, it's an awesome power, right? It's something that is extremely powerful. Like I said, it's just a matter of being able to change weather systems. This could be used for something very, very good, or it can be used for something tremendously evil. And that's basically what's happened now, is being able to have this in the wrong hands. And this is basically why there's been such a manhunt for a lot of these dark force agents, so to speak, taking them down, getting them to reveal a lot of secrets about this geoengineering technology so it can be taken down completely, okay? Counterforces are certainly making an enormous impact. Well, frankly, where their impact is coming forward is their ability to take down a lot of the dark forces, because a lot of the dark forces really doesn't have that much of an army left. They're very much in remnants right now. So, but again, there's still a lot of this hidden technology. There's still a lot of these hidden systems that are taking place. They're causing these problems altogether. And this is basically all part and parcel of different groups having different fingers in the pie. Okay, we're thinking that, okay, well, there's the dark forces, so they're just one particular group. No, guys, we're talking about dozens and dozens of different groups, right? You're looking at many different types of secret societies. You're looking at many different types of agencies that all have their finger in the pie. And many of them don't even agree with each other. In fact, there's warring dark factions together with fighting each other, right? Basically, they're basically slaughtering each other to try and get the king's throne, right? So not only is the counterforces hunting them down, they're hunting themselves down. It goes back to what Adronis has said, the corrupt will take down the corrupt. That's exactly what's happening right now, okay? So that's what I wanted to share in regards to geoengineering, in regards to the point source energy weaponry systems, like I said with satellites, okay? Scaled up versions of those 5 or 10 watt lasers you can get publicly, right? Destroying a balloon, being able to burn a hole through your skin, being able to burn a hole through the wall, okay? You can do that with these particular types of devices. Now imagine that incredibly scaled up, and that is a directed energy weapon satellite, okay? Satellites, basically these gigantic watt lasers, right? Just going around the planet that can be remotely activated at any time. Now, you will also notice that when Maui was hit, it was hit on a numerological date. It was basically hit on the Lion's Gate, 8/8/2023. That is human sacrifice, okay? The whole nature of the Maui attack was basically another 9/11, okay? It's basically an 8/8. So it represents the idea that, yes, that is a significator pertaining to, this Lion's Gate. It's a powerful portal system. And again, there can be a lot of people that are utilizing that gate for love, but that gate can also be twisted and turned around and basically used for human sacrifice. And that is exactly what happened with Maui. Not only do they have the agenda of trying to buy up the land, this was a sacrifice. This was a human sacrifice. This was a psyop, okay? And this was the idea of utilizing that particular type of weaponry to basically commit human sacrifice on a numerological date. This is why they don't just use it at any particular points. They gotta wait for the powerful dates. They gotta wait for the numerological alignments, and that's when they strike. Okay, can these be averted? Yes, they can. But people need to be much more aware of when these powerful dates come together, because we can basically saturate the entire Earth with that, where those particular types of attacks can be completely averted. We have the power to do that. We've done it. And it's just a matter of more of us stepping into our power, right? Doing meditation days on these particular events, right? Your 11/11s, your 12/12s, your Lions Gates, right? Lunar alignments, everything. Looking into these very strong power node dates. It's like taking all this energy and you're converging it into a node. And that is exactly where you want to do the meditation. You want to do it almost exactly on that very second. Okay? And people, hundreds, thousands, hundreds of thousands, millions of people coming in, bringing nothing but love and compassion and joy to the entire planet at that moment will make such a difference that this is going to cause more and more decay of everything that represents dark faction agenda. Okay? That's what makes the difference here, guys. We're all a part of it. We all need to do our part. Okay? This is not something for the few. This is not something for the one. This is the result of the many. The many need to come together. The many need to start working together and putting loving energy into the planet. And that is what's going to make a dynamic difference. Okay? So, questions are piling up on the chat. I'm getting quite a few donations here, so thank you guys. So we're going to go into the chat right now and just see what questions we have. So I will go to some of the donation-based questions here first, and then we'll go into other questions that are here. So I'm just going down the list as I see it here on the chat. I see quite a few of you have made donations. Thank you for that. I will be getting to you. Okay, this one here again is from Gijo Matthew. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, Gijo. Forgive me if I'm not. Gijo says, Dear Adronis, can you please speak about the history of the southern Indian state of Kerala? Was Kerala a colony of Atlantis? Okay. So, again, Gijo, you're asking very unique questions. So I'll have to kind of bring Adronis in, and he can ask he can share certain information, because I'm not familiar with Kerala whatsoever. So Adronis will come in, he'll do a scan, and see what can be shared in regards to Kerala of India, and if this was a colony of Atlantis. Okay, one moment. Terra, Soul Star, Sirius, Adronis. We are here. At this time, we bid you greetings, and thank you very much for the opportunity of this interaction today. I am Adronis of Sirius, sending love, appreciation, and gratitude to all who are tuning in to this broadcast through your internet collective consciousness. What I would ask all of you to do at this time is simply allow yourselves to get relaxed, get comfortable, and tune in to the vibrations of Sirius, so that you may synchronize, harmonize, and align to all of the information that we have to share. Also understand that all of the information that we shall provide today is simply that of our perspective, our point of view. For all knowledge, all information, all creation itself resides within your very hearts, beings, and souls. We thank you very much to the one known as Gijo Matthew, who is sharing this particular question pertaining to the state of what you would know as Kerala, and if this was indeed a colony of Atlantis at this time. No, it was not. All right. Now, you have to understand firstly how Atlantis got all of its information that it did in order for it to be a superpower at that time. India represented a very large influence pertaining to the inspiration of what Atlantis itself could become. So, it was not a colony, but it was the idea that the land that you now know as Kerala, again, we would simply just see it as the land of India in the times of ancient past, that this was, in that sense, a particular land that represented gifts from the gods. And the gifts from the gods was something that was being shared openly throughout the world at that time, to which India itself was being the ambassador for. Many of the Atlantean priests have gone to India, and they would also go to different areas of the planet, and they would take in a lot of different knowledge. One of those particular forms of knowledge came from the nature of the gifts of the gods, that represented the idea of infrastructure, that represented the nature of architecture, that represented the nature of applying harmonious energetics, being able to build in harmony with the union of the universe. So many of these particular forms of technologies that were seen as gifts from the gods were something that was inspired through Atlantis, along with many other facets, to basically make Atlantis into what it was. You have to understand that the land of India is superbly ancient, and that during those times, this is very much where the gods walked upon the lands of India, and that they, in that sense, working together with the people of India, serving as ambassadors, who would be able to willingly and graciously share a lot of the abundance that India has had during in those times, going back many thousands of years. But this does not relate to a particular colony. This relates in that sense to the original idea that was therefore inspired through Atlantis, to where Atlantis would learn a lot of its infrastructure, or learn a lot about power sources that work together with crystals, that work with technologies, representing in that sense anti-gravitational technology. That was actually starting in India first and foremost. All right? So you have those particular types of anti-gravitic vehicles, particularly to what the Indians have talked about for many thousands of years. The people of Atlantis were inspired by this, and they too received the ancient knowledge so that they too could construct it. So the Atlanteans received the ancient knowledge of the gods. Now you have to understand that Atlantis itself was a unified land. It later became a superpower, but it really did not start off that way. It very much started very harmoniously. And so again, over time, the corruption grew. But in the earlier times, working with many of the travelers and ambassadors from all over the planet, who would come from their own lands onto the lands of Atlantis, and they would teach. They would teach a lot of these initiates, who then, these initiates would become elder members, or again, high priests of Atlantis, through states of lineages and bloodlines. And they would receive a great deal of this technology, and it would be used in the incorporation of Atlantis, as you would commonly know, quite commonly discussed by Plato. So many of these particular forms of technologies did not come from the idea of a land within India that represented a colony. No, it was the opposite. It was the idea that Atlantis would be much more like a colony of India. That's the idea. So Atlantis was very young compared to the ancient wisdom of India, because the gods walked the land. And they taught much of the people there about how to build in harmony, about how to work in harmony, about how to acquire food in harmony, about how to work and share and cultivate in harmony. And that is something that the Atlanteans were inspired by, and they reciprocated that idea. India helped bring Atlantis into being. So it's not the other way around here. Ancient China helped to bring Atlantis into being. Ancient Greece helped bring Atlantis into being. These are again just some examples. Atlantis was the youth, and the great masters as it relates to the lands, from China, from India, from Greece, just to name a few, were being these elders to help teach the Atlanteans how to build, how to cultivate, how to feed their people, how to build infrastructure that represents unified harmony. This is what took place, and this is what we can share with you regarding your question. All right? Thank you very much. Okay. Great, thank you, Jijo, for your question. We'll go ahead and move on to the next paid question here. This is from Babito7. Babito7 says, Adronis, what is the heart and how can we open it? Okay, one moment. We thank you very much, Babito7, for your question. What is the heart and how can we open it? Well, the heart is the very core of your being. Every particular living being has some way, some form, a core, and the core, in that sense, representing the nature of the heart. It is your living essence. It is to where, as you would say, the nature of intuition, the nature of empathy, the very logos of yourself resides. The seat of the back of the heart representing the holographic soul. This would represent the quality of that. How do you open the heart? Well, you must reciprocate with everything that the heart is, as we have told you. So it represents the nature of pure empathy. It represents the nature of compassion. It represents the nature of working with your intuition. It represents a feeling center. It is the logos of yourself. It is the nature in regards to the true heart's willpower resides. There is lower willpower, and then there is higher willpower, and that resides within the heart. So you need to reciprocate those qualities from within yourself, which means if you are completely out of alignment, you're worrying about everybody, you're worrying about yourself, you're worried about the planet, everything becomes worry, everything becomes fear, everything becomes anxiety, while you are not aligning to the nature of the heart that would enable it to open. You need to let yourself feel. You need to let yourself work with compassion. You need to let yourself let out all of these beautiful states of intuition, like a rainbow spectrum that is pouring out of the heart. Opening it all together is reciprocating the qualities of the heart. Some people will discover certain types of mantras that can assist in the idea of the opening of the heart. Yes, because this represents vibratory configuration and calibration that can assist in opening the heart further. In fact, when many of you are performing certain mantras, particularly for the heart, one particular example is Om Namah Shivaya, you will notice that the heart is opening up tremendously. Om Namah Shivaya. Just being able to work with that particular mantra, for an example, is helping bit by bit opening up the heart. Being able to make it even more simple. Om, directed to the attention of the heart, is helping to open it up. Being able to perform a certain pranayama, like this. The bee breath, the Brahmari, also assists with opening up the heart. Being able to let yourself feel what you need to feel, not trying to bury it down, not trying to put it at the bottom of the bottle, so that you feel in that sense that everything that represents that situation is being covered with dirt. It's about embracing yourself. It's about working in harmony with your empathy, working in harmony with your intuition, working in harmony with your compassion, because this represents the natural logos of yourself. The natural willpower, the natural source of your very being, the cultivation of the essence that you are, your logos. And that is exactly where it is, inside the heart. All right? Thank you for your question. Okay, great. Thank you, Babito7, for your question. Let's go down the list here a bit more. Okay, I had a donation here from Golden Age, but it was retracted. Thank you, Golden Age, for your donation. Let's just go down a little bit more. Okay, DV, thank you for your donation as well, too. Golden Age, I got your message again, but it contracted. Okay, here we go. Here's one from Golden Age. Brad, I came across intel from a channel that mentioned Gaia is one of the 12 archangels. Please speak a little if this is the case. Well, that's one particular interpretation. Okay, when we're looking at the archangels, you would not really see the archangels as just a simple embodiment of the planet. That would represent a projection of their logos. Again, we're using the word logos again, and that would be appropriate, okay, to say that Earth holds the light of the logos of the archangels themselves, but that is not the totality of the logos as well, too, right? Now, basically, when we're looking at the archangels, you are looking at supreme intelligence. You're looking at the supreme intelligence where we see the nature of the 12, which represents the variety of expressions. It's really no more different than looking at the Hindu gods or the Greek gods in a certain way, that they all represent different levels of intelligences that commemorate the idea of the world seed or the world logos. Okay, so I wouldn't really say that Gaia is one of the 12 archangels. I would say that it is a projection of all archangels. Okay, I would say that it is a projection of all the Hindu gods. I would say it is a projection of all the Greek gods. I would say it is a projection of Christianity. I would say it is a projection of Judaism. I would say it is a projection of Buddhism. Okay, these all represent projections, and they all merge together, right? For us to basically have a finite decision, say, oh no, this is just Archangel Michael, right? Everything pertaining to the earth is Archangel Michael, or this represents Lucifer, or anything of that nature, okay? So, yes, there's qualities in the earth that represent those facets of intelligences. But again, if we just try to hang our hat and say, okay, well, that's all it is, it's one archangel, and that's it, we just need to focus on that one archangel, you'd be deluding yourself. Okay, the earth is something so deeply precious. All right, she is all about variety. She is all about mixture. She is all about the multiple aspects of projections that are upon herself. The world spirit consists of many different forms, and even in that sense, up into the higher planes as well too. So it would not be appropriate to refer to the earth just as one archangel. Okay. Just like I say, okay, well, the earth is just Buddha and that's it. Or the world is just Christ and that's it. Or the world is just Krishna spirit and that's it, right? Or the world is Michael, or the world is Raphael, or the world is Uriel, or anything of that nature. Again, it's not that you're wrong, right? There are qualities there of the earth, but that's not all that she represents. You're limiting her by thinking that there's just one archangel that represents her embodiment. You would be incorrect, okay? It's the quality to everything that we know as a society that represents the divine, that represents gods and goddesses, that represent forces of nature, that represent the elementals, that represent the higher kingdoms, okay? They all play a part. It's like looking at a gigantic cauldron, and the essence, the elixirs of all divine intelligences that have shared themselves with the planet is exactly what is mixed into the logos representing the earth. Okay, so we don't have an easy answer for that. It would be it's just very easy to say, okay, it's one of the 12 angels. Okay, it's Michael and that's it. Okay, it's Uriel, it's Raphael and that's it. No, that's an easy way of putting it, right? So with all due respect to the channel, they're not going deep enough. Okay, you have to learn to start going deep, because what happens is the ego mind will start to go in and say, okay, well, it's an entrapment here. So again, one archangel is the entirety of the earth. You'd be wrong. Okay. There's a quality to them that represents the giant cauldron of expression here, okay? But the earth doesn't really represent a singular form to what we can identify with pertaining to the nature of identity itself, okay? It's all representing a cauldron. It is a cauldron of many different intelligences together, but the earth is as she is. We want to try and put some label on it and saying, okay, well, no, she's an incarnation of Lucifer. She's an incarnation of Michael. She's an incarnation of this and an incarnation of that. And in a way, there can be components to that. It's not that they're wrong. It's just that you're not seeing the bigger picture altogether. It's like me saying, okay, well, I have a past life as this person, so I'm embodying everything that this person represents. Okay, well, there's qualities of that particular person within me, but is that all I am? No. Okay. I could say, okay, well, there's an embodiment of Adronis with me, right? He's very much in the higher states, and he's very much in the higher dimensions and lives in a much more evolved living space, so to speak. Is that all that represents me? No. Okay? Those are qualities. Those are attributes. Okay? So you're looking at attributes of the earth. You are looking at qualities of the earth. You are looking at facets of the earth, and they're all beautiful, and they all hold their importance pertaining to the cauldron that the earth is. What is the earth? She's a cauldron. She's a cauldron that is holding a mixture of grand intelligences together supremely. This is why we have a Buddha nature. This is why we have a Christ consciousness. This is why we have a Krishna spirit. This is why we have all of these divine aspects of intelligence that we can all ingrain together. This is why we have multiculturalism. This is why there's all kinds of different findings in regards to the ancient people of our past, right? They all represent different roads, but those roads all lead back to God. And that would be the idea here, that she is the logos of all experiences, all expressions, all intelligences that we understand, representing physical and supreme intelligences all together in totality. Okay? We cannot define the earth, because it's like me trying to define you. Can't do it. Okay? But we have qualities, we have attributes. Truly what we are is the self. Truly what we are is the source. Truly what we are is consciousness. Truly what we are is awareness. Infinite intelligence. God, Goddess. Okay? That is the nature of you. That is the nature of the earth. All right? So that's what I can share in regards to that question. Good question too, by the way. All right? Thank you for that. All right, let's go down the list here, see if there's any more donations. I got one from Soma. Thank you very much. Just a donation. Thank you for that. Okay, I think I got them all. I'm just scrolling back up the list to make sure I got every single one of them. Okay. Looks like I did. Okay, great. So now we're going to go ahead and move on to more questions here. We got about 20 or so minutes left. So this one here is from Aquasendra. She basically said that she wouldn't be able to attend the live, but she left a question. Aquasendra says, a question, Adronis. I heard some spacecraft isolate from reality to change from one location to another. So if they isolate from reality, where do they actually go? What kind of space is that? Okay, let's take a look, because Adronis can certainly give some good clarity to this question. Okay, so the question about spacecrafts isolating from reality to change from one location to another. Okay, one moment. We thank you very much, Aquasendra, for your question. Now, there is a little bit of confusion in regards to how you are actually presenting the question. It has nothing to do with isolation. There's no such thing as isolation in space, because space itself does not have a property. So therefore you cannot be isolated in that which is space. Now when you're looking at yourselves pertaining to the property, because the only property there is you, because that represents a physical aspect, what happens is that you are vibrating at a particular form of oscillation that is not visible in the linear spectrum to how you would understand it, which means there are other bands that can basically be vibrated to in a state of oscillation, where you representing the object, say for example, you on board your spacecraft, you are oscillating onto a particular vibrational spectrum that is not conceived or perceived of through the nature of linear experience. Many of you may refer to this as a type of pocket dimension. Now, a pocket dimension simply represents the idea of, again, that oscillation of vibration into a particular band that is not detectable through, as you would say, certain forms of linear perspectives, even technological perspectives. But what happens in that sense is that we do not travel from one point to another. It is not the idea in that sense of being in one point and then being in another. It's the idea that we are simultaneously there. All right? So basically what you're doing is you are looking into the nature, for example, of a certain state of location. Let us put an example forward here. Let us say that we are in the heart of the Sirius A star, and that we are going to move ourselves directly into the orbit close to the northern pole of your planet. We're there. The idea of what you would term as time does not play a crucible relating to that nature. You see, again, we move beyond the state of space and time. Space and time work for us. We don't work for it, because there really is no space and time. They are nothing but temporal states of measurement. They represent, again, certain locales. They represent certain mathematical principles, and that's fine. but that does not hold a claimancy over your capability. Just as we said, if we are in the center of our star, and then all of a sudden we are appearing in the northern pole of your planet, right there. It's not something of saying that there's an absence there and you can't go there. You see, you're looking at it too linearly. This has nothing to do with isolation. This is not putting yourself in a prison. All a pocket dimension is that it is viably perceivable to the witness, but may not be viably perceivable to others who are attempting to see it. That's all a pocket dimension is. It has nothing to do with isolation. It has nothing to do with confinement. In fact, you're able to move to and fro any way you wish when you're inside that pocket dimension. You are simply looking at a vibrational band that is not perceivable to the other. And that's a pocket dimension. You only call it a pocket dimension because you cannot see anything. It's like a blank canvas. But from the perspective of the witness inside that spacecraft, the universe is just as apparent as you see it. But you can't see it because it is imperceivable to you, because we are residing within the oscillation of a band that is imperceivable to you. Where the idea in that sense that we are sped up to such a point where you cannot see it. That again is the oscillation of the band. Now again, this is exactly what happens with many different forms of incognitos that are also upon your planet. They will walk through these, as you would say, pocket dimensions. They are very much aware of what is happening on your streets, in your cities, in your towns, in your villages, etc. And they're able to walk to and fro, and nobody even pays attention to them because they cannot perceive the being, because they are oscillating on a different band that is sped up to the point where it is not visible in your own natural spectrum. All right? So looking at it in that context would be the idea of a pocket dimension. A pocket dimension in that crude context simply represents the nature of a certain level of object that is vibrating in a capacity of resonance that vibrates at such a higher degree of oscillation, it is not perceivable through your eyes. It is not perceivable through your senses. It seems as if this being is invisible to you, but they're not. They're just operating on a different band, sped up to such a degree where you are not able to perceive them at all. And that being could also have the capability of being here, 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 all at once, simultaneously. Not just, oh, we're here, and then we're here, oh, and then we're over here, oh, and then we're over here. No, we're talking about multidimensionality here, in the crude reference that is. It is being completely and totally omnipresent. Here we are in New York. Here we are in Shanghai. Here we are in Mumbai. Here we are in Victoria. Here we are in the North Pole. Here we are in Antarctica. Here we are in Argentina. Here we are in Egypt. All at once. Simultaneously. Not from here to 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 here. You're still thinking of it linearly. We are talking about being in many spaces, many locations on your planet, as we just used in this example, at the same time. Now, the linear mind cannot get this. It boggles. Well, Adronis, how are you going to be able to focus on all that? How are you going to be able to get all those perspectives together? We're calibrated to experience that. You are not calibrated to experience that. You are not calibrated to look at the non-linearity of life. We are. And there are others who are also taking place upon your planet, yes, who are simply appearing here, 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 simultaneously. Because really, when you look at the big picture, there's no separation. There's no linearity. Everything is omnipresence. And all you're doing is you yourself as the objective witness is here, 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 all through the nature of intention and working together with the vibrational spectrum of the universe that enables any particular appropriate foresight should you decide to engage with others or simply witness yourself as an observer in regards to certain phenomena where others are not able to detect you. It's all the same. It's all very simple. But you have not discovered this yet as a species. You're still going through linearity. Even though your species is now starting to open itself up to a little bit, again, more of a basic understanding of what you term as non-linearity. So therefore, it is very natural for us to be everywhere at once. Something you can't perceive because you have not enabled yourself to actually perceive that. Can you perceive it? Yes, but you've chosen not to. You're focused more on the linear course of life. Therefore, looking at the nature of a spacecraft is no more different than the examples we have just given. Everything is omnipresence. And you're already in everything that you can imagine yourself to be. And that is simply what is being brought forward here through what is termed as pocket dimensions, or oscillating vibrational bands that are not compatible with your own perceptions. That's the idea. It has nothing to do with isolation. All right? Thank you for your question. Okay. So Aqua Sendra, when you tune in later, there's your answer to your question. All right? Okay. Carol asks, can someone tell me how to make a donation on the site? You can either use the YouTube Super Chat. Okay, you just click on a little dollar bill that's down here on your chat. Or you can go to newearthteachings.com. And you can go to the donate page and you can leave a donation there. Okay, whatever you feel. Thank you for offering that. I appreciate it. Okay. So Paul, I basically just answered your question earlier on today about Maui. Okay, about what happened to it. So we don't need to go back into that. Okay. Just go down the list here a bit more. Okay, Rebecca here has a question. Question, still any news on EBS, Emergency Broadcast System? Every time has been no, but it's been a while. Yes, I know. So let's take a look at that again. Okay, so I'll get the tarot out, and we can start looking into, is there an Emergency Broadcast System announcement, let's say, for the United States? Okay. Is there one coming up, an EBS? Nope. Okay. No. Everything basically in that sense that is happening right now is meant to happen. Okay. There's nothing in regards to the need of a EBS alert. Okay. A lot of people want to do that. This is them kind of feeling disgruntled. Like, are you looking around you? Do you see exactly what's happening right now? And do you see how all of this is leading into a very large expansion that is taking place? Okay. This is still something that is ongoing, right? People are still going to be asking a lot about EBS alerts in that sense, but everything pertaining to the events is exactly as it should be without the need of one coming together, because you are seeing the internal destruction of old systems, and they're already going down, and everything that's representing disclosure pertaining to natural channels is efficient enough for what we're going through right now, okay? To have appropriate reveals, whether it's whistleblowers, whether it's movies, whether it's documentaries, whether it's social media, right? Everything is basically enough to help people realize exactly what's taking place. I know a lot of people think that an emergency broadcast system announcement is going to bail you all out, and it's not, right? It's going to bring illumination to the entire planet. No, it's not, okay? That would actually create a lot more fear-mongering if it was the idea of an emergency broadcast system alert, okay? And basically say, okay, well, there's these particular dark force faction agents, and they've been doing this, and this person's been doing this scandal and all that stuff. All it's going to do is create much more controversy, more convolution. It is not going to bring about clarity, okay? EBS alerts wouldn't even really do that. Everything that's available right now through our natural stream of receiving information is appropriate for where we need to go in evolving ourselves. Okay, I always say this is the greatest news system right here. is within yourself. Okay, but I've said that many times, so you guys don't need me to repeat that over and over again. Rebecca, no. There's no sign of any particular news alerts or EBS alerts regarding to debunking this whole nature of cabals and so forth, right? And I've looked at that many times, right? Going back a couple of years, and there has been no EBS alert, even in the times when I've said, sorry guys, it's not happening, and it doesn't happen, right? I'm just going to be honest with you guys, simple as that. I'm not going to throw a bunch of smoke up your butt and thinking, oh yeah guys, hey yeah, EBS alert system next week, what happens? Nothing happens. You guys get your hopes up for nothing, and you get fundamentally depressed. Okay, so I'm happy to look at it, but no, I was not seeing anything in regards to EBSs. Okay, let's go down the list here a bit more. I saw another question here that was getting me to think of something, but as soon as I thought of that thing, it went blank. Okay, I was going to say something else here. I can't remember now. Went completely blank. I think it was something involving how things are going right now. Oh yeah. So again, I have talked about the nature of the monetary system, the financial system changing. Okay, and I have talked about the nature of the ATM scandals, which are basically set to happen between now and the next few months. Again, I don't have a timestamp on that, but I was talking about just the other week about the nature of ATMs, about the nature of empty government buildings and all that. That is certainly coming. That is still very much going to be happening. A lot of people are also concerning right now about digital currency or cryptocurrency. The new financial system, is it mainly going to involve digital currency? Yes. Okay. But like I said, there are different systems together with the financial system. Some people may want to look into gold-backed currencies, and that may be something that's available, or resource-backed currencies in that way. But really where we're headed is a lot more cryptocurrency. Okay, cryptocurrency, digital currency, that really is just the way that the earth is going, right? There's going to be less and less on a majority level legal tender, physical wealth in that way, because that's not the age that we're moving into anymore. Okay, like I said, there may still be some type of gold-backed currency, but they'll have some sort of digital platform for that. Okay, everything is really going digital. Everything is really going to start moving much more into non-physical means of acquiring money and all that. Okay, it's really just turning into a digital system. Even when the new financial system comes together, it's pretty much mostly going to be digital. Okay, it's pretty much mostly going to be cryptocurrencies and blockchain technologies and so forth like that. That is really the financial system of the future. A lot of it is going to be decentralized, but again, a lot of people are really adamant about trying to keep some type of legal, or not legal, but some forms of physical money handy. And I think that will still last for a certain amount of time. Like I said, perhaps there will be some gold-backed currency that will take place, but it will still function through some type of digital platform to monitor it, to govern it in that way. We're just moving in that direction. This is all part of a new age that is coming together. This is part of a new span of change where a lot of things are moving into digital, AI technologies. Okay? Guys, there's going to be a lot more AI. Okay? There's going to be androids. There's going to be robots. Okay? There's going to be a lot of things that are being governed by AI. However, during a lot of that AI rollout, there's going to be a lot of regulations. There's a lot of can and cannot do's relating to AI as well too. And there's also, again, a lot of off-world, I wouldn't say inspectors, but off-world governance as well too, for any particular type of agency who wants to take AI to the next level. Because there is a very strong zero-tolerance policy throughout the entire star system right now about utilizing certain AI for certain purposes. And any particular attempts to utilize AI for massive warfare is basically going to be debunked. It really is no more different than how a lot of the off-worlders had a zero-tolerant policy for nukes. Okay, we basically can't fire off any nukes on the planet anymore. That has been completely and totally submerged. People may talk about nuclear devices. None of them are allowed to be detonated, right? Not on a mass scale. Okay, there may be certain ones that may be in a smaller scale, but they cannot detonate on a large scale that would represent a large loss of life. Okay, The same thing is going to go with AI. Okay, there have basically been specialists that come here from different star systems, different areas of the galaxy, that are basically tackling the AI issue because AI was being used for mass destructive purposes throughout the star system. Okay, there's also been certain AI technology here on the planet that was being used for that particular type of ruler. COVID-19 was basically meant originally as a gigantic AI weaponry system, and that was completely and totally foiled thanks to the counterforces. Okay, so this is exactly what has been attempting to happen, and even with climate change as well too. Climate change, global warming, right? Geoengineering. A lot of that has also been AI controlled, and there's a lot of sanitation taking place behind the scenes. As I've also talked about too with the nature of the moon, right? That we have what's known as human guardians. Human guardians are basically us, very highly advanced from what we term as the future, okay? That are basically in charge, and they're working together in correlation with many of the ground crew that are here on the Earth, helping to shift these particular balances that represented artificial intelligence wars, right? I think one of the ideas that they had pertaining to a hoax alien invasion was basically to use AI systems and holography to basically simulate some particular type of alien invasion as a cover-up to, again, acquiring more land. Just like what they were doing with Maui. There probably was a lot of sophistication or rhetoric in that way of saying, oh, let's make this a hoax alien invasion. Let's level Maui and blame it on aliens. Okay? And there's no doubt that there probably was some speculation about doing that, but of course they didn't, right? I don't know if they're even allowed to. I think what basically they would get a threat. So if you blame this on us, we'll pop right in and we'll let humanity know all about us. Okay, we won't do it. Okay? So there's only certain things that they're able to do. But if they try to blame that on ETs, game over for them. Okay? Because believe me, a lot of these particular forms of federations and organizations that are starbound would not tolerate that for a second. All right? They say, if you're going to blame that on us, we will reveal ourselves to humanity. We'll pop right up in the skies, and we're going to reveal everything. We will give so much data dumps, we could take over your technology, and we can put everything, and we can data dump everything on every particular television screen, on everyone's phone about you, and it would not stop. Right? And so that's exactly how they'll deal with it. If you blame this on us, we're going to show ourselves. Simple as that. You do not blame your ridiculous, devil-worshipping, pedophile, corrupt butts thinking that this is going to be us that's doing this horrible thing to the planet, because we will respond. And I can guarantee you guys that that is exactly what they would do. Okay? If they ever tried to blame this on federations, on organizations, on certain particular types of star alliances, they'd be showing up like that. Say, no, you don't. Like, this is a doomsday trigger for them. And this is exactly why they may back off. It would not surprise me that the original intention for the attack on Maui was probably meant to be a hoax alien invasion. Okay? Maui, I feel, in its original plan, was going to be the target for a hoax alien invasion. But they haven't said, oh, it's climate change, it's climate change. That's all they can say. They start blaming that on ETs. ETs are going to respond. I can guarantee you that. Okay? So just interesting things like that. Like I said, I was talking about the financial system and government shutdown last week, and still sticking with what is happening. Okay, that is a definite event that is going to take place. We don't have timestamps, but I don't think we're going to have to wait too long for that. All right. Okay, guys, we're going to take about 1 or 2 more questions before we wrap up today. And then again, like I said, I'll be back tomorrow for New Earth TV Live at 10 a.m. Pacific. Okay. So there's a lot of people that are talking about BRICS, okay, about the BRICS alliance, and saying that they're going to have a very strong announcement, a big announcement this week in regards to things. Well, basically, that's the counterforces, guys. When you're looking at BRICS, you're looking at the counterforces, okay? And it's much larger than Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, okay? You're basically looking at about 100 different countries that may either be publicly in alignment together with BRICS or behind the scenes allied together with BRICS. You're looking at much more than a 5-country institution here. You're looking at an institution that basically has about 100 countries backing up it, right? So that, again, has been something I've been talking about for years. BRICS is not just BRICS. It's basically, you could say, the rest of the world. right? Here's the corrupt, and here's the rest of the world. And that's basically what they're doing. So yes, there is going to be some particular type of digital currency rollout. Could be a very large digital currency. I'm not a financial consultant, so I can't really give you guys the language pertaining to the financial rhetoric. But yes, it feels like they're probably going to be announcing the start of the new financial system. Okay, and this, if so, then this basically matches with the sharing that I've done last year, talking about the latter half of 2023, that we may start to see more rolling out of the financial system. This is what is believed that the BRICS alliance will be talking about, right? So they may represent the idea of new currencies coming out, of a new financial system, of a new model that is basically looking to overtake the dominance of the US dollar. Okay, so basically bringing it together into a state of conglomerates, and basically this could be the beginning times. This could be the start of rolling out the red carpet, so to speak, for the new financial system. Okay, if so, then it's right on time with what I've shared. What the time would be, the latter half of 2023, most likely we'll start to see the peak point of when the new financial system is coming together. And if this is what it represents with BRICS, we're right on time, we're right on schedule, right? Again, guys, I know a lot of you do not like digital currency, but that's the way the world is turning, my friends. Okay, that's the way the world is going. It's moving into elements that support the idea of much more, you could say, air-based qualities, right? It's moving much more into the virtual arena. It's moving a lot more into the digital arena. That's just the era that we're moving into. Again, I'm sure there will still be some type of physical currencies, but it will not be as widespread and as mainstream as digital currency is basically being made out to be. That's just the way we're going. That's the way the cookie crumbles in that way. But like the whole idea is that there will be regulations, right? There will be policies with it. There will be certain forms of clamps that will be coming down for anybody trying to steal this money or trying to make trillions off digital currency so that they can run their own agendas. That's not going to happen. Okay, this is all part of a new financial system. Like I said, I'm not a financial analyst, I'm not a financial consultant, but that's where I feel it's going. I'm basically seeing this as a very big positive thing. Okay, and that's all I can share with you guys. And I'll even look at that through the cards and show you guys the idea of the new financial system ahead. What represents its positive qualities? What positive qualities will we see through the financial system? Or rather than just saying positive qualities, what will be the qualities of the new financial system or financial systems that is looking to debut itself? Okay, so what can we expect to see with the rollout of the new financial system? That'll be my question for the cards. What can we expect to see with the rollout of the new financial system to come? Oh, very good. Okay. Definitely taking down the old systems, taking down the old fiat currency. Okay, so basically with this new currency that's going to be coming together, this new financial system, I don't know if it'll be right away, but it looks like the idea of taxation is really going to be coming to an end. Okay, so we have the Ace of Wands here. Taking action, new transformation, new birth, a whole new industry, a whole new financial market. Nothing that is based on corruption, but cooperation with many other countries that are going to come in and be a part of this new financial system rollout. Okay, there's still a lot of work to do behind the scenes, as I've talked about, pertaining to the new financial system being able to, again, take down a lot of the old corrupt about trying to hijack it, trying to prevent it, right? There's still a lot of work that needs to be done. In the near future, this represents a unity. This represents a very strong success. This represents a potential benefit for something that is going to roll out, that is going to put an end to debt. Okay? That is really what is looking to happen here, is that this will be an end to debt slavery. This will come to the ideas exactly as I've talked about for years, about the nature of debt forgiveness, about the idea of markets basically going into a state of reset. It's not going to happen right away, but that is the momentum that it is going to play out. It's kind of like you have to unfold the accordion, so to speak. And that is exactly what's going to happen. So this is basically, I feel, and this could be, I can't say if it is for the BRIC Alliance meeting, but if it is, then this would be the red carpet that is rolling out that will represent the dawn of the new financial system. Okay, and if it is, that's great. Then it is very much right on the mark, exactly as I said it would be in the latter half of 2023. So I feel like that's what it is. And it's a good feeling. with the BRICS Alliance. And why don't I go ahead and I do a reading with that, right? Will the BRICS Alliance be announcing something in regards to the new financial system? Okay. Let me go ahead and take a look at that. I can't guarantee it, but let's see what the cards say. Okay, so will the BRICS Alliance be announcing the beginning times, the beginning rollout of the new financial system? Or financial systems? Okay. All right, let's take a look. That's a big yes. Okay. So, yes, it feels like what they are going to announce is something pertaining to the new financial system, right? Like I said, it's not off the ground yet. It's something that's beginning, okay? So there is going to be some sort of really big earth-shattering announcement pertaining to the BRICS Alliance and what they're going to do at this particular summit that's coming up. This is going to bring about the opportunity of new abundance, okay? Like I said, a whole new world representing a very different type of financial system, okay? This is probably going to disgruntle a lot of people as well too, because like I said, there's still some people that aren't too fond of the digital currency, okay? But nonetheless, this is basically where the tides are taking us, okay? And this is basically going to put some people on high alert. This is basically going to represent the idea of a lot of elitists doing what they can to try and snatch grab and try to taint and basically try to blow this completely out of proportion. So it's going to get some evil-eyed intention, but the good news is that there's a lot of energy backing up this new financial system that would attempt to thwart any particular type of attempts to hijack it or to taint it. And this again is representing on-world and off-world assistance that is also assisting in this new financial rollout that again we're going to see here very, very shortly. So what I'm getting from the cards, and this is what the cards are saying, cards are certainly saying most definitely this is going to be the peak time of the new financial system. It has finally arrived. It can now roll out. It can now start rolling out that big red carpet, and now opportunities are going to come together in cleaning up the financial system markets very strongly, right? And so I know a lot of people have fear and doom and gloom around this whole idea of a new financial system. I'm just not seeing that way. I can only share my perspectives, guys. I'm not seeing it that way at all, right? I'm seeing this something is very, very positive. I'm seeing this something that is very, very transformative and leading us into a new direction, because the old system doesn't work. It needs to die. And that's basically what this is going to do, bit by bit, is just let the old system die and let this new system roll out. So there's going to be a lot of infrastructure changes. There's going to be a lot of ways about how we're going to be shopping for money and all of that. This may also represent the idea of ATM shortages. Who can say, right? Something is definitely going to happen. I can't really put my finger on what the ATM shortages will basically be about, whether it's something from the counter forces or if it's something from the dark forces. But we'll just have to see as time progresses and look into it more as more things happen. Okay? Thank you, everybody, for joining me for this episode of the Signposts Live. Again, we'll be back next Thursday for another episode of the Signposts. The Signposts will be on every Thursday from now on. And tomorrow is New Earth TV Live, and Adronis is going to come through, and he's going to be sharing some big announcements about the rest of 2023. It's something you guys do not want to miss. It's going to be very exciting. Please make sure you're here tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Pacific, New Earth TV Live, okay, with Adronis. Thank you, guys. Blessings to you all. Have a great rest of the day. Om Shanti 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 Namaskar, and may it be well with you. Bye for now. Thank you so much for tuning in to New Earth Teachings on YouTube. Don't forget to check out our websites, newearthteachings.com, where you can do private sessions with me, and also etherics.co. And through Etherics, you'll be able to pick up your Healing Code Cards body deck, your mind deck, and your energy deck through Etherics. You will also be able to pick up the Etherbed kit. That is also on Etherics as well. Not to mention that you'll also be able to pick up some apparel and accessories that is also available on Etherics. Thank you so much for tuning into this video, and I look forward to speaking to you in the next one. Om Shanti 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 Namaskar, and may it be well with you.